Hello again and welcome back to Zine's A to Z of the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. My name is James. Today I'll be continuing the run I started last episode, walking you through the items, enemies, bosses and strategies, but never forget I'll be reading the comments on my Twitter if you have any tips, strategies or seeds or anything at all you'd like to tell me. Well, let's get started then. Unfortunately I had to replay through this on my own seed, so as you can see it may be very slightly different. It was my own fault. I tried to record using OBS and failed to check that the recording was actually working properly, so I'll take the credit there. Right, what we can do next. Let's continue exploring the floor. We've almost got enough to make it worth going to the shop, but I don't think we quite have yet. We're totally out of control with the damage here. Is it worth exploring backwards? Yeah, I imagine this is just going to be the boss. I mean, you might as well go in this direction. Oh, some bonies. Throwing bones, yep. Getting tiny, as you can see my size is changing constantly. I really like it when you get huge, largely because it's the magic mushroom effect and that makes you super strong. Ooh, gurglings. As you can see they charge at you, if I can bait this one into charging at me. There we go. And they will not stop at dropping creep the whole way and shooting bullets. They're fairly easy to defeat for us if you've been following along, but be wary of them. As a first floor boss they can be extremely annoying. You can knock them back with your tears, but that's often not the best idea because it only slows them down and they will sort of slip off your tears and still come and hit you. Right, I don't quite need this satanic Bible charge just yet, and I don't want to go into that double wide boss room. So let's just finish exploring the floor. As you can see I'm huge now because of the magic mushroom effect. I really like that. Right, we have also got the PhD, so it's really worth us blowing up any mushrooms we find. Ooh, let's try and avoid taking damage here. I mean, I guess that's always the point, but I particularly avoid taking damage against those skittery spiders, if not because they scare the pants off me, just because I don't like them very much. Well, there could be here or possibly here a secret room. Let's just check the surrounding rooms. Ah, see, no, the one on the left couldn't have been a secret room because it's not adjacent to the wall. Similarly, there couldn't be a secret room here because the room on the left isn't adjacent to the wall. Let's try here. I'm not sure that that's the right alignment. Let's look at the next room and just check. Yeah, this one's against it, and curse rooms, which is below, always reach all the walls. Oh, and there it is. That was lucky. I may have a different amount of money than I did last time, and I certainly don't have the ability to buy things cheaply at the shop. But now I've got enough money, I will go to the shop and see what we can get from it. Key, pills, ladder. I don't really like the ladder. I will give that pill a shot though. Bad gas. Oh, really not worth it. I mean, Hagalaz isn't really worth carrying around, but if I can find somewhere good to use it, for example, skulls down in Necropolis, or whatever we end up with. It's just ridiculously useful. Depths, that's the other one. Sorry, I was trying to think of the name of the other one. It's Necropolis or Depths. This Polyphemus tier is just so good. I love it. Polyphemus chocolate milk. Look at it, it's massive. I'm going to take this heart because that gives us more bargaining power with the devil. And now I'm really glad I did. I'm massive as well. Because with one heart I could only take one of these deals. You can't actually kill yourself if you have spirit hearts or black hearts by taking a red heart devil deal, because he doesn't take debt and he doesn't take spirit hearts in lieu. But what you do need to do is you do need to take the one heart deal first, and then because he doesn't take them in lieu, now I've just got both of them. Right, the first item there was Rotten Baby, as you can see he's standing here right next to me. He spits out flies as I fire. Is it as I fire or as I'm holding a direction? One of the two. And that is really useful. Flies do 2.5 times your own individual tier damage, And well, look at our individual tiers. I'd say that's pretty what you want. Right, let's use our Satanic Bible since we can. Right, those scythe tiers not only look cool, they also are penetrating, so they will go through multiple segments of an enemy, or multiple enemies. Not through solid objects like rocks though, that's a shame. But it's also a damage up, so even if you can't get the cool looking effect because you've got some other type of tier, even if you can't get penetrative because for some reasons, you can still get a damage up from it. It's still worth taking. So let's actually, I don't think I explained that the pact on the last floor, the piece of paper I took with blood soaked on it, that will never kill you because it always gives you spirit hearts when you take it. It's utterly useful, so that's why I love taking that. And it's basically a straight damage up, so there's really no reason ever not to take it as far as I'm aware. Right, have we got anything left to explore on this floor? Not really. I mean, I could look for a second secret room, and that would probably benefit us somewhat, but I'm not sure it's really worth it. I mean, did you see the size of the scythes we can now project? I think we could really do some damage. As you can see on the left, this icon right next to my head means that I'm using a seed. It largely because, as I said before, I managed to not record the last run, although if this run goes the same, we will go wreck the lamb's face. So, I mean, that seems like a good show. We had some floating skull guys that can only be killed by the back of the head, and then we had some more gurglings, one of them a champion, and we got some more of these bullet spawners surrounding a TNT barrel, which doesn't seem like the safest place for them to be, but whatever. Those statues in the last room, by the way, can spit bullets if you're not falling out of control fast enough to kill everything in the room immediately. As soon as you kill everything in the room, they're fine. They're absolutely amenable. Unfortunately, you can't blow them up even then. I would love to, just because they piss me off sometimes. Right, this is a type of shape of room where you can sometimes end up with having a secret room here. I mean, there's no U-shape of rooms around it, so in all likelihood this isn't going to do anything. But this, if you see this room and it does have that sort of three sides covered effect, then it's really worth trying that point. This might be the best place to use the Hagalaz room. Hagalaz. Yeah, I think it is Hagalaz. But or this one. Well, they both got 6 in them. I'm not sure which is better. Maybe the corridor. Right, let's go in here. Should we fight for this? Yeah, might as well. We've got nothing better to do. Viz. Oh, I hate Viz. They're basically walking stomachs that fire blood lasers. I mean, they look like something that isn't stomachy, but I'm just not going to go into that. If there are any younger viewers watching, I apologise. Right, let's... I mean, I apologise that you even have to see them. Right, let's use a yeah, that one here. Ooh! Right, a card, the Fool. This can be very useful in certain situations. When you use it, it teleports you to the first room you arrive in the dungeon. So if you get locked in a room in a fight, because you've taken the items, well, you can teleport straight out. I mean, Boss Rush, for example, is a great tactic to use. You can just wander in there, you get your pick of 4 items, assuming you can beat one within 20 minutes, and then you can teleport straight out without actually having to sort of pay for it. Right, this 2 of spades gives you double keys. I'm going to use that right now to show you, because I'm not that sure that I need it later anyway. Right, this is Dry Baby, Immortal Friend. When he takes damage, usually from bullets, I don't think he can take damage from lasers, he will sometimes, I think 1 in 5 or 1 in 10 times, he will wince and do the Necronomicon effect, hurting everything in the room with him and helping you wreck face. Usually he wouldn't wreck face on his own, but, you know, it's worth having him around anyway, especially since you can, on one of the bosses like Mum's Heart that spit loads and loads of bullets, you can hide behind him and let him do all the work. I mean, he'll take the damage, you spit bullets through him, and then, Larry Jr. again. Giving us a heart we don't need, but still, I'll take it. And some more bullet and spider spawners. Take that too. But yeah, hiding behind Dry Baby is brilliant. Unfortunately, we've got a bit of a cadre of familiars now, so it's fairly hard to tell what each of them, if any of them, are doing specifically that's helping us. But I really think that all of them are actually actively helping us. Right, there we go. Those guys wrecked. Moving on. Tears up. Oh, I love this. Can you imagine bigger tears than we already had? Yep, there we go. Even bigger tears. Let's keep moving. Room, face, wrecked. Oh, and you too. Yep. Just aiming them down is sort of the hardest part of this. Right, flies, goodbye. I mean, these are just bomb flies. Really no reason to worry about them at this stage. In fact, I could probably stop the run here and you could wreck the rest of it yourself. Then again, there may be some more interesting synergies we could pick up. Let's put these fires out. This is Sacrificial Dagger. It adds an extra orbital to you, and in fact it looks like we've now got basically a shield on one half of us that we can't take damage from bullets from. I mean, that seems incredibly useful. Right, now we've got a large room. This is one of those turdy guys that will split down into smaller turds. And unfortunately the smaller turds are charging turds. Oh, I didn't manage to leave any of them alive to show you, but the smaller turds charge at you, and then the smallest ones are just float about slightly. So yeah, you don't need to worry about those too much, not at this point. But beware that the charging ones are going to turn up. Right, useful trick to know about hosts: you don't actually have to kill them if the doors are already open. You can walk out. Oh, let's kill this room. That's that easy. And then walk back in and they will have despawned, which is incredibly useful. You don't have to take them out to be done. Right, should we go into the shop? Let's go into the shop. Ooh, black candle. I like black candle. It stops you getting cursed. So Curse of the Darkness that you saw we had earlier could no longer affect us. We can't take any curse. We also get a black heart, but instead of actually giving us an extra heart because we've reached the health limit, it will just override one of our bluish silvery hearts and counters that instead. So they will now take damage when they take that one off too. Right, I'm going to use the Satanic Bible to colour one of our blue hearts black, and then when I take this, it recharges again, and I do it again. Now, as you can see, we've now got one little part filled in of the Satanic Bible. That's because the battery, whenever you use the item, refills the meter by 1. So you've basically reduced the total number of rooms you need to refill an item by 1, which doesn't sound like a huge amount. But for 6 item charge, you might get an entire extra charge from a floor that you weren't going to get before, which is incredibly useful. I mean, it's really important for some things, like the Satanic Bible. If you're low on hearts, 3 or 4 hearts, I mean, could make the difference over the run before you hit Mum's heart. Right, here we go. Lust. Mini lust. It's not super lust, not going to do much damage. And he gives us tears up. Well, yeah, we are going to absolutely trash anything that gets in our way from this point. Should we bother looking for the secret room? I mean, we've got enough bombs. We might as well have a glance. It could be up or down of this room, I guess. Let's go check the down direction. No, it couldn't be down, so it's got to be up. Let's go up. Put that away. By the way, in case you're playing, you can hold that interface open to show it in a stronger colour, and just tap it to switch it into a faded colour. Ooh, and loads of money. Thanks very much, guy. We don't actually need any of that. I mean, obviously, if your shop isn't fully upgraded, you might want to go donate some of this to the shop. So, assuming you weren't playing a seeded run, which we currently are. That was such a stupid thing for me to say, but you get what I mean. If you're on your normal run, if this was something that you'd done yourself, you just pick up the money and run to the shop. There would be a donation machine somewhere about here, and then you just fill it full. Right, this is tears up, I think, isn't it? Yep, I'm going to take that anyway and move along. I don't think we need any more keys. We certainly don't need any more bombs. I think 6 is enough. But on top of that, we can shoot giant, massive, world-ending tears, so there's really no reason. I mean, that was a tiny tap. If I'm tap shooting now, that's the thing with chocolate milk. With chocolate milk, when you tap shoot, you can get a heck of a lot as fast as you tap it. If you hold it, you then get massive tears. Although if you're using a PlayStation pad, you then instead get shooting the wrong direction. Right, this is Gish. Like Monstro, he is an amorphous blob that jumps around spits balls that explode and then drop tar on the floor. Oh, thank you, Dry Baby. That was the Necronomicon effect, as triggered by Dry Baby. And he does spawn some little gishes, I should say. Right, this is Little Gish, our sticky friend. He will follow behind us and shoot little balls of tar that will stick to enemies and slow them down. It's not as good as having a sticky feet ball of tar, because that means you leave your own creep trail of tar that slows them down, as well as some of your tears slowing them down. But anyway, we didn't get a deal with the devil here. Bit of a shame, seeing as we cannot possibly have taken any red heart damage because we didn't have any. But on the other hand, after you've had the floor after you've had a deal with the devil, you get a 50% off the top chance of getting a deal with the devil, so it's much less likely for you to get a deal with the devil. Right, this is a blood bank. You can sell your red heart contents to it for cash. The problem is, though, you can also sell your black heart contents and your blue heart contents, and there is really no reason to do it, because once those are gone, they do not come back. You can't just refill them with red hearts lying on the ground, so it's better not to unless you've got something really specific in mind. Right, let's take this chest and fight this room. I mean, we may as well. It's not exactly going to take us all terribly long. This is the dark one. He would do sort of jumping about and smashing the floor and charging at us and making the room dark moves, but he didn't have a chance. This is Loki. He'll spit bullets in the cardinal directions and then in diagonals, and also spawn... oh, come on, Loki, show us off. And also spawn explosive flies. You really... yeah, there we go. And sometimes he'll do that move, which, yeah, there we go. So now you've seen the full gamut of Loki's attacks. The Dark One you may need more practice against, because he is quite more difficult. That's why I didn't want to leave him laying around, because the chances are, if I was being cocky, I would take damage. Right, there is some more money there. I'm never beyond getting a little bit more money. So you can blow up the rock, to push it across and turn it into a bridge. Really useful. And then pick it up and we get an extra 5 cents. I mean, that even works if you've got the poop item. You can use it to create a poop on the ground and then blow the poop up and turn that into a bridge. I mean, it's pretty much the only reason to use the poop, but it's also one that's not terribly obvious, and so a lot of people think that the poop is useless. Not entirely. I mean, if you do get the what's it called, the item, the petrified poop, that gives you a high chance of getting an item every time you pop a poop, then you can use the poop to make poop and then pop it and get items from it, which is really good. The only real use is to make bridges from it, as far as I can see, but in this case neither of that was useful. There was one guy hanging from the ceiling. They're a bit hard. Just whack them as fast as you can. They don't move very quickly. Right, let's go in here and see what we get. Ah, 2 more black hearts. However, we're going to lose half one leaving again because we can't fly. Never mind. These guys will charge at you, kill their heart as fast as possible. You can't hurt their face, but you can hurt their heart. So kill their heart. Their hearts can sometimes fire bullets at you, so do be careful when you're around them, but not so careful that you don't attack them. Right, Justice card again. We're getting another few consumables. I'll take that. Moon card. This should teleport us to the secret room. Yes, and oh, and there's a red chest in here. And pills. What are these pills? Are you a wizard? No, thank you. Full health. Utterly useless, but we're not carrying anything in that slot anyway, so we might as well take it. Right, moving onwards. Oh, I might as well use the Satanic Bible, refill us up. Right, this must be Pin, because, yeah, here we go. He was an underground enemy and he wasn't there when you walked in, but there was a health bar, so, you know, there's not a lot of people it could be. Right, goodbye Pin. Let's take this key. Right, left or right? Well, let's get this big room done first. Oh, these ghosts. I don't like these ghosts. I don't think many people like these ghosts. The problem with these ghosts is the time in which they are vulnerable is tiny. They will teleport in, shoot their load, and then run away again. And for most of that, they're not vulnerable. This is Monstrous Tooth. I don't want to get crushed by using it, but when you do use it, it will summon Monstro to crush your enemies. However, if you're the only one in the room, don't use it because it will crush you. Better not to do that. That was another one of those marionette people. Not too worried. Those were the keepers, the ones that spit and make you drop your own money, which is bad before well, it's bad while there are still shops around, but after that it doesn't really matter. Unless you're going to go really hard on some beggars and give them all your money. But usually you're unlikely to see too many beggars in the womb. Or beyond. I mean, there will be some, but not more than you're probably going to find money in most places anyway. And there's nothing else to do with it, so why not? Right, on we go. More gurglings. Yes, goodbye gurglings. These things are just pathetic. Sorry about that. Oh, blast assists. They're really weak unless you get the sort of top tier version that then splits into two of them. They just flop around like Magikarp and unable to do anything. Right, let's go in the shop and see what we've got. Ooh, nice things. Right, first things first, let's take the fanny pack. When you take damage, which I expect I will do before the end of the game, it will give you items. That is really useful because you can never have too many consumables unless you've got 99 of everything. Let's find out what this pill is. Luck up. Yeah, I'll take that. Luck's a really useful stat. I probably said it last episode. Say it again. It affects your ability to get consumable drops from rooms, as well as possibly chests from the chest. I don't know if it works from the dark room, but you know, better play it safe than sorry. Let's move on upward. I'm betting the boss will be over this way. I'd rather explore the rest of the room before floor before I. Oh yeah, thank you, Dry Baby. He was already dead, but you know, overkill or whatever. Let's explore the rest of the floor before we come back and go kick the boss's butt. I mean, it's not exactly a massive chore. We've got what, probably 2 rooms. Yeah, this one is useless. And this one is 2 ghosts. Those are the ghosts you would fight if you fight the Haunt. You have to destroy them before the Haunt dies, or before you can even hurt the Haunt, I should say, and then he'll move up to the top roof and slide backwards and forwards, trying to hit you. I mean, I might as well tell you that at this point, because the Haunt's one of those bosses that everybody hates, and it's going to take you a while to get the strategy down. I still haven't got the strategy down, and I've played this game so many times. Right, now we're fighting Mum. We are locked in here with her, and we cannot escape without one of those cards that I mentioned earlier, but we don't have one, so never mind. Her foot is an explosive attack, but once the explosion is done, you can actually hug it to use... oh, that's a shame. To use your orbitals to damage her. Unfortunately, we don't actually have what I would like, which is a deal with the devil. But never mind, let's grab the polar, the negative, because we're trying to go down to Shoal and kill Satan. Let's use that, because we might as well, and dive on down. I'm just going to take a drink. There we go. We are now in the womb. However gross that is, this is where we find ourselves. Moving left, there is a singular fly. Nothing to worry about. A chest with some money in it. Like I said before, money at this point is entirely useless, but we might as well take it just in case we find a beggar somewhere. Right, there is a pill. We know it's full health because we're carrying one. Here are some eels, or leeches I suppose. These ones are fine. If you see some black ones, run away because they're going to explode. Satan uses those black ones prominently on his fight, so it is a good idea to understand how they function. More Larry Juniors, just destroy all the segments. They're pretty much like pins that can't bury. Another chub, he will swallow your bombs if you put them down in front of him while he's charging. And Monstros. Right, Monstro will shoot bullets and try and bath bullets at you. He's not too difficult, certainly not at this stage of the game, but earlier on he can be a challenge. You can bait him to try and follow you. You used to be able to bait him to just fire over and over, but you can't anymore. In fact, Monstro 2, you used to be able to bait him into firing his laser just over and over, which was very easy, but never mind. Right, continuing on. Another chub. We just killed him. Yeah, that doesn't pose any more threat now than he did just then. I'm not sure what the point of a champion silkworm is. I mean, it's not exactly threatening. Not at this stage. Ooh, these tunneling creatures are just evil. They used to be able to pop up underneath you directly and just ruin your day. But luckily now, they can't do that, but they do move fast enough to often, in a large room, be an absolute pain in the arse. So, do watch out for them and try and take them out ASAP. Right, we do appear to have, as you can see on the map, a little skull. A little skull is a it's a, what's it called, mini boss. So in this case, gluttony. It's worth fighting him just in case he drops lard. Right, we might as well take the lard. The lard is going to slow us down significantly, but it also gives us 2 empty containers for hearts, as well as half a red heart to fill one of the containers. Right, let's see. Those eyeballs were turrets. They will shoot lasers at you. Try to dodge around them if you can. Here we go. I'm not going to let them shoot their lasers just to show it off, because I'd rather not get mercilessly destroyed. At this floor, you actually lose a full heart at a time unless you have something like the wafer. Right, I might as well use that now. And do I want to use temperance? Not even in the least. It spawns a blood bank. We don't need a blood bank because we don't have enough blood to be worth donating. And certainly we don't need the money from it either. Right, I don't see any crossed rocks or even anything of much interest. Right, here's one of those poops, and he's dead. These poops, incidentally, are red poops. When you destroy them, they will pop back up with a gas cloud. They are deadly, and the gas cloud hurts you in a circle of squares around the poop. So you've got to be even more careful when it's regenerating than you even normally are. But do not walk into them if you can possibly avoid it. There are some rooms that make that incredibly difficult. But I think they've patched it now, so there are no rooms where it's impossible to walk into them. I'm not going to bother collecting red hearts because I'm not that bothered about it. But here's Skolex. He's basically a slightly harder version of Pin. In fact, he is made harder by being slowed. But the only part of him you can actually hurt is his tail. Luckily, we have penetrative tears, so we don't actually have to worry about reaching his tail. We just have to shoot him when it's available. There we go. Ooh. Cat of Nine Tails, shot speed and damage up. Well, any damage up's good by me, but having tears that move faster sounds good to me, because faster tears sometimes move further as well. I'm not sure quite why that works, but if it's true, then it's true. This here is Goathead. He will guarantee you a deal with the devil on any floor that can spawn one naturally without a Joker card. Really useless at this point, because this, in fact, is the last floor of the game that can naturally spawn a deal with the devil, so utterly useless. These 2 items, however, are quite useful. This is Dark Bum. He will take red hearts off the floor, and every 1.5 red hearts worth, he will give you a silver temporary heart. The thing with that is, he will sometimes, 1 in 10 times, he will drop a red spider, an evil spider, but it's so small that it's still worth taking him. Right, this is Guppy's Paw. It will allow you to turn red hearts into black hearts. However, I've just spent my last red heart on it. The other thing it will do is it puts you on your way to becoming Guppy. I've already got, well no, I haven't got any Guppy items yet, I don't think. But if you manage to get Guppy items, if you get 3 of them, you turn into Guppy, you can fly, and on top of that, you can, what was I going to say? You spawn flies. Again, spawning flies, the faster you can do it, the better. You're going to do absolutely loads of damage. I really don't like those big nets, the little sequences between levels, because they're always, well, somewhere between gross and disturbing. I really like this game, it's just those little bits sort of irk me. It peeks into Isaac's awful life. I mean, I know most of this game is based on a fantasy he's having. Well, I believe that's what's happening. You know, I haven't talked to the developers or anything about that, but that would seem to be the case. Ooh, there we go, a silver heart. Thank you very much, Dark Bum. If you could do this one as well. Yep. But still, they're quite disturbing, some of the things that happen. He gets pooped on, for example. I mean, it's terrible. Well, more turrets. They're going to laser at me. We're going to just avoid it. Come on, turrets, you can do better than that. Right, let's see. Lots of coins. As you can see, we have absolutely loads of coins because there's no shops, so there's literally nowhere to use it. This guy will just charge at you. Luckily, he's not actually a mini-boss, he's just an annoying guy. And some more of these guys to try their best to kill us. Well, they failed. Don't forget to use Satanic Bible every time you get a chance, assuming that you did the reroll and all the right way around and managed to get Satanic Bible. Right, this guy will mirror your movements exactly. You can, if you're very clever, put him onto those spikes. I'm not going to though, because luckily for me, all my familiars wrecked him. And of course some more of those guys. Unfortunately we couldn't just avoid those guys because the door wasn't open yet. They were part of the level's enemies. Right, ruin these guys. The brains will put down creep. Try not to walk on it. Unless you can fly by this point, which, I don't know, maybe you can. Those guts also put down creep. I mean, the brains and the guts basically are either creep or just moving around strangely monsters. And we don't have to worry too much about these turds. They're not exactly that hard to kill. Onward and that way, I guess. Oh, some more of these guys. Just go away. Oh, that one's a champion one of those guys. Not sure that made him any harder to kill. Ooh, a beggar. So I can sort of show you what I was going for. Oh, no, I've shot my own bomb. Yeah, that's one thing you've got to be careful of. You can push and shoot your own bombs. So be careful. I mean, I was holding my chocolate milk at full charge. Oh, I managed to avoid it. But do be very careful about that. Right, what's this guy going to give us? Anything? I mean, I would expect something like... Oh, no, it's a bomb. Run away. No, took damage anyway. Let's see if we can't get that thing. Are you a wizard? Oh, that is possibly the worst pill he could have given us, but whatever. I managed to make it out of there very, very gingerly. Oh, and we got some more of these red hosts that shoot 5 bullets, but in exchange they're always vulnerable. Seems good to me. And now we have It Lives. This will be Mum's heart if you haven't defeated her 10 times yet. And she's not actually that difficult. You just have to basically shoot the heart, keep out the way of the bullets. You'll learn the patterns over time. It will take a few attempts, but then you've got 10 before you can actually progress consistently past this point, and destroy the ads when they appear as fast as you can, because you don't really want to be killed by ads that you just weren't paying enough attention to. I have done that before. It is not fun. Right, we are going down to Sheol to try and fight Satan. This should be interesting. The devil deal up the top, by the way, only contains another door to Sheol. So you can go explore it if you like, and there's 2 fires in there, maybe you'll get a penny, but otherwise it's not really worth doing. I'm going to explore up from here, because in my experience, Satan has more often than not been up from the start. Looks like I'm wrong this time, but you know, it's worth following patterns. I mean, whether they're true to the game or not, you might as well try it. That was a Headless Horseman. Basically, both parts of his body, his head and his body, shoot bullets, and his body seems to put down creep. Other than that, not terribly difficult. Right, we're going to fight this thing. That's Fischler, I believe, and breaks into smaller parts. However, he didn't have a chance because we're firing giant scythe tears that penetrate through everything at once. There's Loki again, and here's Chubb again. I mean, there's a lot of reuse of bosses in one run when you've got so many bosses coming up. I mean, I kind of understand it, because in this case, in this situation, they're not actually the sort of set bosses. They just need some bosses to fill the boss fight room. Right, here we go. Sloth mini boss fight. If you kill these last in a room with multiple enemies in it, you should always get a card. The strength card in this case is probably better than the full health pill, because I have 0 health to refill with that pill, but the strength pill gives you a red heart for the length of 1 room, plus a whole bunch of extra damage. So I mean, you might as well use it on Satan, assuming that's what I'm going to do. Bob's Rotten Head, it's basically a bomb that you replaces your spacebar item. Oh, here, I'll just show you. You then hold it and throw it in a direction, and it explodes. That's really it. I don't see much reason to take it if you've got bombs. I mean, if you're really having a tough time finding enough bombs, then I guess that makes sense. But other than that, not really. Right, this is oh, I was going to show you, but never mind. It's a blood laser eye turret, but you don't really have to worry about it if you're going to kill it that quickly. Ooh, look, there's another curse room. Oh, and cage. Cage can be very difficult. They're spawning mini cages who shoot gross lasers. They spin towards you in a ball. Come on, Cage, do your jumping and slamming the floor attack. Oh, here we go. Now, those floor shattering attacks can be quite devastating, because they do seem to aim towards you quite accurately. So, you know, be careful of that. That was a Dry Baby going off again. He's been a real MVP for this one. And of course, because these guys were spawned while the doors were closed, we actually have to destroy them. Wow, really going off a lot. Thanks a lot, fella. Right, let's go in here. I've got a charge to refill at least one of these hearts. And we get spiders. Yeah, no, I don't want those. The door was still open, so... well, no, it's not. Back up to full. Oh, and another cage. Exactly what we need, yes. Hopefully we'll just take him out without too much hassle. Yeah, when he's slowed and sometimes feared and such, they're not terribly difficult. I mean, I could blow up these skulls, I'm not that worried. Let's continue on. Oh, here's Pete, throwing out his eyes and dropping his horrible... I'm guessing it's gastrointestinal fluid of some kind, but ugh. I don't want that tail. It's a demon's tail. It increases your chance of getting black heart drops by decreasing all your other drops, as far as I'm aware. I've never really loved it. Alright, we do not want to sacrifice room because I do not want to spend hearts on the chance of a chest. These guys are basically movable turrets. Yuck. Well, they're dead. Oh, let's take the bomb. We might as well. Got 18 now. I really doubt we're ever going to need that many, but we might as well. Onward. I could go up through this doorway. I mean, if we could get a quick glimpse thanks to this mushroom trinket of where the boss is, I could go straight there. I think that happened last time I tried this, but unfortunately we're not so lucky this time. I really hope we get that on the dark room, because the dark room can have much worse enemies in sort of greater quantities. I mean, double adversary is not a room that I like very much. Triple cage is even worse. Right, those guys with the sort of scarecrow-like mouths are basically greed. They want to make you spawn coins or drop your coins. The other guy was a mirror guy who's a demon version who tries to copy what you do. Luckily, they're quite easy to beat. Right, husks. Ooh, shooting loads of bullets, but if you've been following along, you should be strong enough now to just take them out from a distance. Try not to leave any spiders to ruin your day, or flies. Here we go. No more spiders or flies, thanks. Yep, and they're gone. Alright, there's a card. Let's see what the card is. I mean, I doubt it'll be more useful than strength, but no, it's temperance. Well, I mean, we might as well blow it up to find out if it gives us anything. I mean, they sometimes do give you things when you blow them up. A single cent. Was it worth a bomb? Not really, but it could have given us something more interesting. So, I mean, that was worth finding out what it would give us just for that. So you're not constantly going, could it have given us something? And the odds are, eventually one of them will give you something, but if you're not blowing any of them up, you're not going to get any of them giving you something. Sort of making your own chances and fending your own way. Oh great, the moon. Well, this will take us to another secret room, which we probably don't really need, but we might as well. Let's blow these up. I mean, at least if we get some decent pills out of it, it'll be worth having done. What's this? Balls of steel. We don't need that even at all. I can see forever. Well, that'll help us find the second secret room, certainly. Do we want the balls of steel pill? We might as well take it to the entrance to the boss fight. I mean, we can always come out again once we've used the strength card. Unlike the mum fight, that you can actually leave the Satan fight, as far as I'm aware. So you can then come back, get this balls of steel pill. Ooh, I heard the sound of a doorway unveiling itself. So let's look around the walls, and here it goes. And that's the red patch. I don't actually want it. I do believe it just gives you the same effect as Samson has naturally, where whereby having killed enemies on a floor, you increase your maximum damage up to, I believe, no, taken damage on a floor, you increase your damage up to a maximum of 6. So if you can take 6 damage, even triggered by a blood machine, you can increase your damage up to 6, which is actually quite a large number if you look at your stat screen. Right, here we go. We're going to fight the Fallen, who's going to split into 2 when we do enough damage. Here we go. They're not too devastating when they're slowed. They will shoot bullets, and the other thing they will do is sometimes shoot lasers. This is Satan's main form. If you run in front of him, he will shoot lasers at you because he loves to shoot lasers. Dry Baby is a sort of real MVP here. And then he will stamp down like Mum that they obey the same rules as Mum's feet do, so they can't hurt you once they've landed. So you can actually hug into them with your orbital weaponry. Sounds a lot better than it is. Ooh, yeah, we might as well use Satanic Bible again. And I've still got the Balls of Steel pill. I managed to completely forget to take the... yep. Yeah, I'll take this. I think I'm more likely to find a single room with, say, 3 cages in it than I am to find the lamb difficult. At this point we're doing so much damage, the lamb on its own is just one guy, whereas 3 cages could ruin your day fairly badly. If this was the chest, those 4 would now contain really useful items by guarantee. As this is, they just count as as this is the dark room, they just count as any normal red chests. So they can give you guppy items, so they are useful. Any other red chests that do spawn on this floor, however, should be they should contain items, like as a guarantee, the same way that they do on the chest. I'm not quite sure why the first 4 don't. Ooh, magic mushroom. All stats up, plus 1 permanent red heart. I mean, I'll take that. We're going to totally wreck face with this. War. Knock him off his horse and then kill him when he charges at you. There seems to be a black version of War who possibly charges more, I don't know. Oh, and drops a whole bunch of bombs on the floor. He is targeting homing troll bombs, which is not very good. Alright, now he's going to charge at us, but luckily we've slowed him with Gish. And there's Dry Baby doing his bit. Grab the key. Ooh, yeah, has Darkbone got anything for us? No, he hasn't yet. Right, on to the next room. Mr. Megas. Well, actually, they can give you Mr. Mega when you kill them, but they didn't in this instance. What a shame. These things are basically more larger scale black leeches, so they will charge at you, they will explode. Wow, I've got the effect of 2 magic mushrooms now. I'm huge. Right, onward and upward, I guess. These are the Widow. They will jump. Oh, I didn't get a chance to really show you. They will jump to wherever you were last standing when they started to jump. So basically, you can lead them a merry dance around the room just by walking in a sort of, I don't know, ballet pattern. Right, let's take the Satanic Bible charge and continue moving upwards. Ah, the Wretched. So hopefully I can show you by killing one of these guys. Ah, no, killing one of these guys, yeah, and making the other one jump at me. Assuming he's going to jump at all. Hello? Yep, there we go. So you can just run away and lead him a merry dance around the room. Unfortunately, he's not doing as many jumps as he ought to do. Oh well, let's kill him. But yeah, you can leave him a merry dance around the room and not really worry about his attacks. He's not too difficult. I mean, if you find him early enough in the game, he is. These guys are movable turrets. They are really annoying because it's harder to predict their position. This is Lazarus Rags. It will give you 1 extra life. So if you die, you appear outside the room as Lazarus, I believe. The problem with that, of course, is if you're trying to get achievements, you're then getting Lazarus achievements rather than whoever you started as. On the pro side, if you're finding Lazarus difficult, you can always just get Lazarus Rags and complete a run as Lazarus without putting too much effort into it. So, pros and cons. Personally, I'd rather have a run stay counting as whoever you started as, so you can't cheat the system like that. But on the other side, you can also find that character more easy to get. Right, Ball of Tar, Sticky Feet. This is what I mentioned earlier, wanting actually. Look, this black goo that I'm dropping on the floor will slow enemies who walk onto it. Unfortunately, there's no one who's going to try it, and even the lamb doesn't actually use the floor, I don't think. And it also means that the tears I'm firing will sometimes cause a slowing effect. Look at the size of these tears. They're just, wow, they are half the screen wide. Right, we're taking the lamb down. I don't think this is going to be a terribly difficult fight, but if you can take his body out as soon as it is separated from his head, that's probably better. His body, of course, is the bit left lying on the ground that Little Haunt is attacking. Trying to remember what the patterns are is quite useful, but when you've got this much health... Ooh, look, Gimpy paid out. When you've got this much health, you don't really have to worry about it. And that's the end of the run. Thanks so much for joining me. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. That will help me a great deal. If you didn't like it, dislike it, or tell me in the comments what you thought of my video. I'd be really interested to hear. Don't forget you can tweet at @Zine and I will be listening. And subscribe if you want to see more. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.